Okay, so there's this company you've probably never even heard of, but it's right at the center of a massive global industrial war. It's called Proterial, and its entire future is up for grabs. Today, we're going to break down why. This whole story kicks off with a number, a really, really big number, 1.1 trillion yen. That's how much a group led by the private equity firm Bain Capital shelled out for this company, which used to be called Hitachi Metals, all the way back in 2022. And when you see a price tag like that, it makes you ask a couple of pretty obvious questions, right? First, why is this company worth so much money? And maybe more importantly, who's lining up to buy it next? See, this is way bigger than just some corporate deal. We're talking about a hidden industrial giant, one that basically makes our modern world run. And what's happening right now is this frantic, super high-stakes race to control the very building blocks of our technological future. All right, so who is Proterial? Well, it's now free from its old parent company, Hitachi, and it's going through this huge transformation. Its new owners, the private equity guys, are basically tuning it up, getting it lean and mean, for one single purpose, a future sale. And if you want to understand why it's so incredibly valuable, you got to look at what I like to call its crown jewels. These are the core businesses that have industrial titans all over the world just watching and waiting. Okay, first on the list is its steel. And this isn't just any steel, it's legendary. It's called YASUGI Hagane. That name alone carries centuries of prestige. I mean, its roots go all the way back to the ancient traditions of Japanese sword making. How cool is that? So, what's the big deal with this steel? It's all about purity. Proterial has absolutely perfected a way to make these ultra-pure specialty steels. Now, we're not talking about the steel in your refrigerator door. Think way, way tougher. This is the stuff used to make the molds that shape other metals, the high-performance parts inside jet engines, the sharpest industrial tools you can imagine. It is, without a doubt, a global benchmark for quality. But look, as important as that steel is, the next thing we're going to talk about, well, this is arguably the real prize, the most strategic asset of all. We're talking about Proterial's world-leading NEOMAX magnets. Let me put it this way. You do not get a high-performance EV without magnets just like these. It's that simple. They're literally the heart of the electric motor. These little things are incredibly powerful neodymium magnets, and they're what make EV motors so efficient and punchy. And guess what? Proterial holds some of the key patents for the best ones on the entire planet. And then we have crown jewel number 3, another absolute game changer of material. It's called FINEMET. And if the magnets are the heart of the EV, you can think of this stuff as the secret sauce for its efficiency. So, FINEMET is this really unique material that does one thing incredibly well. It slashes energy loss when you're converting electricity. What does that mean for you? It means the power electronics in an EV, things like the onboard charger, can be made way smaller, lighter, and a whole lot more efficient. This isn't just nice to have. It's absolutely critical for the entire green energy transition. Okay, let's just recap for a second. We've got legendary steel, world-class magnets, and a revolutionary material that boosts efficiency. So, what's the rush? Why is this sale happening now? Well, it's because Proterial is in a race against time, and it's fighting on 2 different fronts. The first front is internal. It's the private equity clock. See, firms like Bain Capital don't buy companies to run them forever. That's not their game. They buy, they transform, and then they sell to make a profit for their investors. And that usually happens within a 3 to 5 year window. For Proterial, you can hear that clock ticking loudly. The second front is external. And frankly, it is massive. The whole world is caught up in this kind of EV arms race, right? Car makers are scrambling, just desperate to lock down their supply chains. And at the exact same time, you have this huge geopolitical push, especially from the US and Europe, to find sources for critical materials, like these rare earth magnets that don't come from China. Proterial is sitting there as a perfect solution to that giant problem. So you've got this internal clock ticking away, you've got these massive global forces pushing from the outside. So who's actually in the running to buy this industrial giant? This, my friends, is where the real drama starts. Let's meet the potential suitors. First up, you've got Team Japan. And the big goal here seems to be creating a national champion. You have a giant like Nippon Steel who could buy Proterial for what's called vertical integration, basically controlling more of the supply chain. They could then go to car makers and offer a complete EV motor package. Here's your steel, here are your magnets, all in one. Or you could have Shin-Etsu Chemical, which is already a huge magnet maker, merge with Proterial to create a single undisputed global leader. Same idea for Daido Steel. For all of them, the end game is the same: consolidate and build a Japanese powerhouse that no one can compete with.
But this isn't just a local game. The competition is absolutely global. You've got Germany's Bosch, the biggest auto parts supplier in the world. They want to bring magnet production in-house to secure their own future. Then there's South Korea's POSCO. For them, it's all about geopolitics. They need to get their hands on critical non-Chinese magnet tech for their own car industry. We're talking Hyundai and Kia. And then there's Austria's voestalpine, another specialty steel giant. A merger with Proterial, that could create the undisputed #1 player on the entire planet.
So, as all these giants are circling, it becomes pretty clear that this is so much more than just one company buying another. This is about making a final, decisive, strategic move on the global chessboard. When you boil it all down, the real prize here isn't just the factories or the patents or the balance sheet. The real prize is control. It's about having control over the fundamental materials that are going to build the electric vehicles, the wind turbines, and all the advanced electronics of our future. And all of this leaves us with one final, and I think really critical question. As these massive industrial titans merge and acquire their way into the future, consolidating their power over the very elements of technology itself, who is ultimately going to be left in control?